not be getting points.
He's not getting points, so that's a huge loss. That's just gifted as Jules goes around window through the tunnel. Zox is going to need to make a move. He goes early. I think Window thought better of it, just got out of the way.
Zox not waiting and not giving Jules a second.
But he doesn't stick it. Let's have a look. Oh, they're in the pits, that's why.
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh, it's a wing change for Tycho.
Change. Back onto mediums.
Okay, so that's an unscheduled pit stop, I'm sure. He might have had a little incident.
Oreo, who was doing the same wing change back onto mediums.
Zox and Jules, they're battling around the hairpin. I hear a crunch on a wall, but Zox has managed to get past Jules. Tycho trying to get past Ninja. Ninja, who started his career in Tier 2, had a bit of a chaotic first race in China. Absolutely blew the field away, but unfortunately had an unsafe safety car restart, which sent him back down the track. He scraped the wall there a little bit. I Love Control is just carrying so much speed.
I don't think that's the fastest way around.
And Alex is on older hards. I Love Controller makes the move. He's got up the inside of window. Yeah, indeed. He does have damage though. He's picked up damage in the last few corners. He's missing his right end plate. He's trying to move around the outside. The squeeze is on. Can he get the move done? They're still going side by side. I think he's got it. He's up into P7. He just forces his way through.
Virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down, maintain a positive delta.
And everybody had slowed because there was a spun car that was told to reset. I'm not sure who it was. But everybody just barreled through. So it's my love affair with Mike.
So Slydog's getting the DRS, and that's hurting M-Dog massively. Oh, three of them! Oh, wow!
Oh.
What was that? M-Dog has made up 2 spots due to Killaroo breaking himself. Prop pin, it was a...
Defensive. I Love Controller goes defensive. Locks up. Oh, hits him.
Has hit him.
Hits him. Yeah, damage.
He probably might. That's not a
Oh,
passing opportunity!
Oh, no.
That was not a passing opportunity. Now they both have damage. Chris is being stalked by Specs, and he's being passed by Specs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OCE Racing League. We're here at Austria this week. My name's Gwackle, joining you for what will be a very fast 36 laps around Austria. In the Alpine region, Spielberg, we had 2 races here in 2020 because of COVID. Good fun races, a little bit different. But this year, in OCE, it's all about Mogs, Jules, and that's it. Oh, and that's not working. Hot lap, here we go. That's what we wanted. Here's a hot lap that Big Jim has done for us. 10 corners, 7 right-handers, only 3 to the left. And the track tends to give you a lot of grief on your front tyres. Big Jim, one of the Tier 1 drivers who's recently made the step up to some of that crazy Fanatec gear. And I think he puts in like a 103.8 or something like that, so a really, really solid time. I was hearing murmurs that some of the drivers were starting to get down into into the 102s, in the very low 102s, and we might even see a 101, but I don't think that'll be on the cards today. The drivers are just getting ready. I'll have a weather report for you soon as we watch the last couple of corners. As Big Jim comes down to the last two, these big right-handers. Lots of speed, 7th gear, barely braking, just a touch of the brakes into that one, down into 5th, onto the straight. And that is your hot lap around Austria. The results from last week. So Moggs did not appear last week. As you can hear in the background, we've got Moggs heading out onto the track. We'll pull that up in a sec. You've got Wolfman in P1 as he made his first appearance in Tier 1, which was quite the result for Wolfman there, capitalizing on mistakes and incidents that affected Jules, Tycho and Zox. And what that's done for the standings is tightened it right up towards the top there. So Jules 3 points ahead of Moggs, who missed last week. Moggs 3 points behind, but 10 points clear of Zox in P3. Zox also very strong here. And Piero, who has decided that he's had enough of Tier 1 in P4, so he'll be dropping down, as Tycho and I Love Controller are no doubt both out there ready to have a crack this week. In the commentary box, joining me this week is Kiwi. Welcome to the stream, Kiwi. And before you kill me, the stream didn't get any of that. So what I'm just going to say is that Kiwi didn't have anything good to say.
Fair enough. I didn't.
Oh, that was terrible. So before the stream started, I had some headphone issues and I've had to change over my headphones. And of course, that's meant that some of the details in the background have got a little jumpy. So unfortunately, everybody missed everything that you just had to say, Kiwi, but it's all good now. So that's my bad. Very sorry. That was like, I couldn't have asked for a better intro from yourself. So anyway, welcome to the stream, Kiwi. It's great to have you. We finished Tier 2, and I mean, it was quite eventful, I'd say, for just about everyone. Is someone blocking the pit lane? Let me have a quick look here. So someone's had a little bit of an incident. I guess they've stayed out of the way. That's Wobble Candy.
So we've got our first time on the board on Esla 104.3. Bit of a banker. I'll soon see that get beaten pretty quickly, but he's at the top for now. So there we go.
Moggs going with the double outlap by the look of it.
Oh.
Sorry, the double outlap. So his first time 114.7. So he's on fire now. Should be a fast one. Zox. Oh, I was about to say Zox putting in a cracker there, and then Tycho beating it by 4 tenths, 4 and some. With a 103.7 there. Great lap. Let's go on board.
I'd also like to point out Zox did that 104 on mediums.
Wow. Okay, that's spectacular. There you are. So here's Moggs on the mediums. That might have just been a banker from Zox. I don't know. I guess medium starts are pretty good here. This isn't Monaco. P6, we've got purple first sector, purple second sector. Can he line this up? This is going to be P1. He's going to eclipse Tycho, but I don't know by how much. Here comes Zox over the line. It's a 103.1. That's 6 tenths faster into P1.
So Moggs has had a week off, but you wouldn't even know it in that lap there.
What even is a break, right?
Yeah, I'd like to be that fast one day, but we can all aspire to that.
Let's have a look at Jules, who's just put in a slow outlap on his mediums. So we've got a few medium runners, Big Jim as well on the mediums, who's put in a 105.9. So he's definitely got some pace to find. We'll see if he's happy with that. Confirmed must have had something going on there because he's put in a 108 on the soft, so he's definitely got pace to find. Jules with a little bit of a lock up there.
traffic through there.
Coming into what I like to call the horseshoe, turns 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not really a horseshoe, but it kind of is a horseshoe.
I suppose you could call it a horseshoe. If you're looking at the track map, it's a bit of a funky looking horseshoe, but you can call it that.
Can he keep it clean? Oh, he might have invalidated. Is it okay? He's all good. A 105.8 on the medium, so not the best time there from Jules when you consider that Zox also on the mediums is 1.7 seconds faster. Else we got out there on outlaps. We've got Peanuts who's yet to put in a lap. Peanuts and I have very similar liveries, I'm just learning.
I think J Rocket might be getting onto his hot lap now.
Alright, we'll follow Peanuts and then we'll go on board with J Rocket. Peanuts coming through sector 2 with the DRS wide open down towards turn 4. Turn 3 depending on who you ask. I think officially it's turn 4 because turn 2 is not a turn but it's a turn. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? P15 Nendra has put in a purple first sector. So Peanuts gets a little untidy. So Nendra's on a flyer. He looks like he's about a 10th slower than Moggs in Sector 2, but he was a 10th up in Sector 1. So let's see Peanuts go across the line in a P6. I'm going to go on board with Nendra, who's coming across the line now. P2 with a 103.2. That is huge. And a statement.
That's a good lap.
J Rocket round the last corner. Let's see where he comes into the mix. P3 from J Rocket. That's huge. Well done, J Rocket.
I do believe J Rocket's made the switch from automatic gears to manual gears as of last week.
Wow. And he's found pace. That's remarkable. That's not a time to be scoffed at. J Rocket hasn't had the best of luck this season. We've seen some big dips from him. A couple of DNFs. Well, just one DNF, but round 2 he finished 3rd, so return to form hopefully for J Rocket. I was going to go on board with Meeks, but he's just invalidated and coming into the pits. So who's out there that looks like they're on a hot lap right now? Who is driving in anger, as they say? Coming around. I think that's Nendra going to the pits now. Who's in P4? Tycho.
Got the top 8 all in 103s.
Oh, as Tycho just had a moment there. I think he has coming out of the last corner. He's potentially clipped the wall and got some damage there. So that's abandoned that lap. Let's have a look at Wobble Candy. Starting a hot lap here, Wobble Candy. Some great times here, Kiwi. I don't think we saw any 3s. Did we in Tier 2?
I think we just saw one. Was the pole lap a 103 for Tier 2?
And now we've got the top 8 in the 3s. So
And then
great times here.
what's that? 4, 5, and 6. 103.71, 103.77, and a 103.77. So it's tight.
2 thousandths splitting I Love Controller and Joe. That's amazing. And not far. I mean, it's only 300ths down to Wobble Candy from there as well. Wobble Candy in P7. How's he looking so far? His last 2 sectors are both improvements. So he's potentially going to go faster. Can he pick up a few spots? It's pretty tight ahead of him. Last 2 corners, you've got to keep it tidy. Don't go wide. Don't ruin a good lap there. Across the line, he should go faster. He's put in a cracker. That 3rd sector was great, and he's up into P3. Confirmed now. Either finishing or starting a hot lap. Let's have a look. Starting a hot lap, so we'll stay on board with him. Who's that? Zox going faster. Oh, Mog's going faster again.
103.141. That's a very good lap from Moggs.
Is it Zox has just come across the line? I mean, there's 500ths between them. That's really tight. Oh, he goes wide, confirmed. He doesn't want that. It looks like he's kept it clean. No, he's into the wall. There's an accident. He's taken out one of the DRS signs, and that is the lap over, unfortunately for him. That sucks. But we all know how that turn 3 feels. And I think that's the same barrier that the same DRS board that you hit when you had that little spin in Tier 2 as well, Kiwi.
It is indeed. So hopefully it doesn't get taken out of the race as well.
I can't remember, did they stay? If you take out all the boards in qualifying, does it stay like that for the race?
I think they reset, don't they? Because we go to a new loading screen and then we come back in. So
Yeah, very true.
you'd hope that they all go back to normal.
F slow, looking like he's not too slow, although that's a big wide line from the last corner. He
So I
does
think
not improve.
our last driver who hasn't set a time maybe on the hot lap now is Miggs.
Let's have a look at Miggs. Miggs P15 currently looking a little slower. He's done a 16 in the first sector. Bit of a lock up there. So for reference, I mean, it's not slow. Moggs,
He is on the mediums also.
Moggs did a 15.8 in the first sector. So it's only 1 and a bit tenths slower in the first sector. Second sector, 28.9. Okay, that's 7 tenths slower. So that's where a lot of the time is dropping. But on the mediums, this is still looking pretty good for Miggs. Going forward for the last couple of corners. They're tough to line up sometimes. DRS indicator and into P11. So, not the best lap, but a 104.3 on the mediums is pretty solid. Is he going for a double? He's got DRS open again. He might be going again. Is anyone else on a hot lap? Moggs could be going faster. Oh, Moggs is going faster. Moggs has just gone purple first sector. Second sector. Let's see how he tees it up. Let's go on board. Moggs, the exit of turn 4, hugging the line into turn 5. This is probably the corner that I struggle with the most, just this one, that's left-hander. Doesn't touch the curbs. This is quite conservative with the curbs, this Moggs. It's Moggs' character. Turn 9. Very clean and tidy there, down in the 5th for turn 10. Will this be faster?
It is.
I think it was 100th faster than his previous best.
It's still faster though, Guackle. It's still faster.
Still faster. Who's out there improving at the moment? We have Nendra. Jules has come in. I don't know if that's a fresh lap or if he's currently on a hot lap. He's just invalidated, so he's definitely not on a hot lap now. But 103.6 from Jules. So we've now got the top 10 in the threes, and then 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th are only separated by half a second. Oh well, they're separated by 0.3, but they're half a second out of the threes. So very quick lap times coming in from everybody. Only one driver hasn't done a 104. So let's commentate curse him. Have a look at him on his hot lap right now. It's confirmed, and he's just invalidated. I've done it to him. I've done it
You've
to him.
only done it.
What would it have been from confirmed? It was going to be a 105.9. So he wasn't into the fours. A slight improvement on his last. And I think it was a this and next lap invalidation too. So he's going to be gunning it back for the pits to try and get one more in there. So yep, I did it. My bad. Sorry.
But the field's reasonably close. That's some good laps from everyone here today.
Big Jim looks like he's just gone faster.
Sox is on an out lap, so he'll be looking to... he's just starting his hot lap now, so...
Is this a new livery from Zox? I don't feel
Yeah,
like
it
I
is.
recognize it.
He's normally got a blue and black livery, so this is a bit of a change for him.
bit brighter. Nendra's last lap.
It may even look to me like he's trying to do the Monaco McLaren livery there.
Oh yeah, interesting. It's a good hypothesis. So I'm not sure if Zox will be the first. I think there's a few guys coming through now. Oh, big lock up there. Easy to do. You're carrying so much speed into turn 4. Turn 5, turn 6 now. That exit crucial. Turn 7, easy to invalidate on the right side there. He's on board for the last couple of turns. He's purple in his second sector. He's not much slower in his first sector, so let's see how much of an improvement this is going to be. He goes into the 2s. That is a huge lap from Zox.
That is an outstanding lap from Zox there.
Purple all across the board. Pat yourself on the back. Mr. Zox, sorry.
Mr. Moggs will not be happy with that one there, Guackle.
I think he's sort of expecting to be a bit slower. As you said, he's had a week off. He's a bit out of practice. He thinks, oh, Nendra's had an incident. He's gone into the wall at turn 1. We got Wobble Candy coming up to her. Nendra's off in the distance up there in the barrier. Of course, that won't slow anyone down here. So my timing board says 28 seconds, but we know that that board is quite often about 45 seconds to a minute off. So I'm assuming there's still time for the likes of Moggs to come out again.
Maybe not. So Moggs is on the out lap. It looks like I Love Controller, Peanuts, It's Slow, Big Jim and Confirmed are all on an out lap.
Here's Moggs. About to start his last hot lap. So ignore the fact that the timing board is saying that the session is over. It is not. There is a yellow flag in sector 3. Hopefully no incident. Might just be someone going a bit slow. What can you do, Moggs? His first sector time. It's green. It's identical. Oh no, I was going to say it's identical to Zox, but it's actually 4 or 5 hundredths faster. So let's see what happens.
I think we're in for a real battle here.
This is going to be very
commentator's
close.
curse for this one, but if he can hold this together, he might just
Sector
pip
2.
Zox here.
He needs to beat a 28-2. Oh, he's just gone purple in sector 2 by well over a tenth. This, again, will be a 102 something if he can keep these last corners together. Hopefully no invalidation. He looks clean, but is he fast? Let's see. It's P1 with a 102.935, beating Zox by 3 hundredths of a second. That's huge.
What a lap. What a lap there from Moggs.
Coming across the line, Peanuts improving there. That's a great lap. I Love Controller not improving. Across the line now. Confirmed, can't go any quicker. Unlucky Confirmed, the only driver outside of the 104s. Big Jim invalidated lap. Let's have a quick look at what he's going to put on the board. It was a 103.8, so that's a big loss for Big Jim. Across the line now, P13 does not improve. P5 into the pits. Who's coming around now? P9 into the pits. We don't have another lap there. Wobble Candy has invalidated, so he will not improve. And that's the field. So your top 3, Ninja holding on after whatever happened at turn 1. And Moggs manages to reply with a 102.935, beating Zox to pole 102.966. That's your top 3. Moggs, Zox, and Nendra. So it does look like in the end, everybody putting in fast laps on the softs. Absolutely is the case. Just getting some screenshots for the records. Big Jim. Unfortunate there. He still would not have improved, so if that's anything to go by, but he did beat his time by 4 or 4.5 tenths. He would have been with a 103.8. So you got any predictions to make based on what we've just seen, Kiwi?
It's going to be tight at the top. The surprise for me is Jules down in P10. I thought he'd be a little bit high. Zox and Mogs, I think they're going to battle this one out to the end. If they can get in a rhythm themselves, they might pull away from the rest of the field. But if they come into contact at any point during the race, that opens up a whole can of worms behind them, you know. So it'll just be sit back, watch, see what these guys can do, and we'll just take it as it comes. Quackle?
So I made a prediction pre-race that Zox would get 9 seconds of penalties. And I've just had a quick look at his stream, and he's titled his stream Penalty Simulator at Austria. How much a penalty is going to be a factor here, do you think, Kiwi?
They could be quite big, especially in that top 5. If they're battling it out, if we get a safety car, it's hard to get away. So even the 3 seconds, and with how easy it is to get there, you can rack up 6 seconds pretty quick, and it's very hard to pull a 6-second gap around this track if you're similar pace to the drivers.
Now, I didn't give a weather report earlier, but it is a dry race. I was meant to tell everybody that, but we have pretty much perfect conditions here as the drivers start the formation lap. Well, it looks like everyone's got away cleanly, so no incidents off the line, which is good to see. It's a very crucial part of the race here as the drivers look to try and get their temperatures of the tyres into the perfect place to get that banging start. T1, you and I had a little bit of an incident, or a moment. I managed to gain probably 6-7 spots off the line, which is always very tricky in the wet. But I think overall, like, you and I came together and had a little bump. I had a little bit of wing damage, but I don't think it was too much.
I think with that, you got an absolutely flying start, and I was a bit sluggish, but it's just turn 1. These guys will hopefully do it. It's just got to give each other room. You're not going to win the race coming out of turn 1, so but you could quite possibly lose it. So it's just giving the drivers space, navigating that through, and then moving on, and then taking on to the first lap.
It was pretty
staying
clean,
clean.
wasn't it? Like, we didn't have any major incidents at turn 1. I think there might have been someone who lost it coming out of the exit, which can happen if you get on the power too early. But otherwise, pretty good.
I think the hardest thing for us is we were all on dry setups, starting off a wet race, so it was like driving on ice skates for the start there. But these boys, they have a dry start, so they'll be coming out the guns firing. So,
and everyone on the softs except for this man here, I Love Controller, who's trying to just break the strategy up a little bit, and I think that's a solid move. P11, he'll be on brand new mediums coming into that, and I think that's solid. Everyone else on the softs. Here we go. We've got 5 lights. Then we've got the consistent, persistent delay where nothing happens, even though the lights have gone out, and then we're away. Of course, the timing boards have absolutely died, but that's nothing
Ninja's
new.
going up trying to go around the outside of Zox here.
Ninja had a move, but he slowed down. Couldn't get Zox.
A bit of wobble.
It's pretty tidy.
Joe had a moment there.
Here. The DRS from Mogs, or not DRS,
we got someone on the wall.
They both go either side of Zox, and there's a safety car.
I Love Controller and Ethlo have come together at the back to cause this safety car. So Ethlo, he's got no wing left, so he'll be.
Oh, that is a huge loss for I Love Controller. He had the alternate strategy, and now he's going to have to basically bank double alternate. So does he go hards? He'll have to box. And you'd say he's going to chuck on those hards and see how long he goes.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one here.
Penalties. Lap 1. 5 seconds to Zox. What was that for? That's an interesting one.
It is.
We'll have to see how that plays out. Meigs with 5 seconds. J-Rocket with 5 seconds. Tycho with 5 seconds. And Ethslow with 5 seconds. Who is limping.
Given what we've got, it could be a contact under the safety car for Zox on Mogs there, given 5 seconds.
Yeah. So into the pits. And have a look at what I Love Controller does as everyone else forms up. I mean, really, from where he's ended up, this is actually pretty good in all things considered for I Love Controller. Obviously, the incident was standing, you know, not great to have something kill your alternate strategy on the first lap, but what's he doing? He's going under the softs. Okay, so he's throwing caution to the wind. And Etzel, who's serving his penalty under the safety car, which is good because he won't lose anything. So that's done and dusted. Onto the mediums. With both of them getting new wings. So that's good for them. They can form up with the rest of the grid. And fresh tyres will do wonders. Interesting, we're seeing some overtaking happening under the safety car. Why is that going on? Is it just a glitch? I think it's a timing glitch. Never mind.
Biggest movers so far. Jules is up 4 positions. Peanuts is up 1. Joe's dropped down 5. And then Window up 1. Big Jim and Confirmed up 2. And then I Love Controller and Ethlo down a couple of positions there. So the biggest winner here is Jules so far.
Once again, last week he was one of the biggest winners as well. Up 4 spots already. Ooh, who's out off the track? They're going to lose spots. I think it's Miggs. He's lost a spot or 2 under the safety car. Probably trying to warm his tyres up and get a little loosey-goosey. J-Rocket's into the pits. That's a late move. No, it's Joe. Trying to get onto him. Where he is. Is he getting a fresh wing? No, he's going fresh tyres. Interesting move from Joe, throwing in a bit of a spanner there. Does he come out in front of Ethslow? It's close. I don't think so. He doesn't. So that's an interesting move there from Joe.
Because he's going to have to pit again later in the race with those.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he could stay. It'll be in puncture territory, but if he's ballsy, he could go to the end. But like, you basically have to pray that you don't get a puncture. And, I mean, I don't like that. I don't like to sit in puncture territory.
I think my first ever race in the league, Grapple, was the only time you've ever got a puncture tyre.
There you go.
And that was Bahrain, the first race of the year last season.
All right, here we go. Safety car's in. The grid has formed up. No safety car in Tier 2. We've got a safety car in.
Hopefully Mogsy has learned his lesson from a couple of weeks back where he went too early. So he'll be backing up the field here. Let that safety car get well out in front of him and then releasing the field.
It's a cat and mouse game. When does he go? Zox is getting ready. He's sitting on his butt. Moggs has not gone yet. I think he's going. He's gone. Okay, we're racing. That was an interesting move. I mean, I guess you've got to be careful here at Austria because, as we're about to see, the toe can be quite monstrous here.
We still have some of the drivers warming their tyres up under the greens going down that main straight there. Oh, Big Jim's gone around.
Oh no,
and
someone in the pits,
Ethlo is into the wall again.
Oh no, the guys at the back here having an all bad day. No damage looks like for Big Jim. Ethsol, he's lost his
damage,
again.
And then Ethlo, he's lost most of his front wing.
Oh, that is a shame. The front 3 have pulled away. There's a 1.5 second gap now. And Jules is up another spot. And you know what? Let's see if he can get another one here. He's all over the back with Wobble Candy. Very tight. There's this. Oh, Zox has had a spin. Zox has lost places, so that's clearing the way for Moggs.
Zox doesn't look to have any damage from that, so he'll be just getting back onto the track, getting ready, and put another charge.
This is job done already, I think, for Jules. Oh, he's tucked in, okay. No DRS yet, I suppose. So that DRS must be hugely valuable. Ooh, a little moment there from Jules. Chases down Wobble Candy. This has brought Peanuts into the mix. Train is developing here from 4th down. little nudge. Bit of a concertina effect. Peanuts bumping the back of Jules as well. They're just biding their time until DRS is enabled. Mog's 1 second ahead of Nendra, who is 2 seconds ahead of Wobble Candy. And then there's a move happening in the background. J-Rocket getting up the inside of Tycho. Can he hold on to it? Tycho around the outside.
Oh, Jules just picked up a 3-second penalty. Corner cutting.
Start to come up. J-Rocket can't keep the move. He can't hold it. Back into Jules. DRS is enabled, but it probably won't be for this first straight. It'll be the second straight where DRS comes into fold. There it is, it's open. As he chases down Wobble Candy now, how does this cat and mouse game play out? Does he go straight away? Well, he can't. Oh, big late break there. Wobble Candy might get the better exit. That's going to hurt Jules. Alright, the move is not coming this lap. Migs on the back of Peanuts. Does he try to go down the inside? They both have DRS. That's going to help Peanuts defend against Migs. Eslo having just all sorts of trouble at the back there.
I love control.
Yeah, I was just about to mention.
He looks to be closing in on window very quickly here, so hopefully down this next straight he might get the dip.
Penalties are coming thick and fast now. Let's have a look. Plenty of drivers with them. Look at this train. Everyone has DRS except for Tycho.
That hurt Tycho there.
Purple first sector from I Love Controller. But he's locked up going into T3. J-Rocket trying to get the move done.
Oh. Window's just gone around the outside of Tycho and off the track he goes.
Oh, and there's a little bit of bumping and movement from I Love Controller and J-Rocket as well. Tycho managing to get away up the track, and J-Rocket losing out to Window as well. So Window, who was trying to battle with Tycho, has lost the spot, but then fallen in behind J-Rocket and then overtaken from there. Jules,
yeah,
is
broken stuff.
That is another 3-second penalty for Jules, who's trying to chase down Wobble Candy, but just, 6 seconds already. That's huge.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about at the start of the race. That 6 seconds can be hard to get rid of around this track, especially with how close these guys have been through these first 8 laps.
Zox down in P13 has purple second and third sectors, so he's definitely a man on a mission. But right now that mission is damage control after spinning in the second sector a few laps ago. Jules now all over the back of Wobble Candy. Wobble Candy fighting for his life, holding off Jules. Jules, who can now brake something like 50 meters later because he discovered that his brake pedal was set up incorrectly. And he was only using 60% of his potential brake power.
That's quite a lot.
That is a lot, right? Like losing 40%, and he was still a massively quick driver.
Peanuts just picked up another 3-second penalty.
Jules just going wide there again. He's not handling the dirty air here of Wobble Candy.
Hogs isn't gapping Ninja too quickly. The gap 1.6 seconds at the moment, but that's a slight mistake, and then Ninja's right on the back of Moggs there.
Could he just be conserving the tyres perhaps and trying to make the stint go as long as possible? As Meigs tries to go around the outside of Peanuts. Peanuts goes defensive. The switcheroo's on. Peanuts is wide and Meigs is up into P5.
Eslo is having a terrible day out there today. He's just picked up another 3-second penalty.
Well, maybe he's going too fast. It's slow. Go slow.
Hey, Eth, go slow.
The gap between Edsol and P1 is probably less than 20 seconds now. So he's trying not to get lapped at this point. Confirmed now, 6 seconds. I think I'm going to have to leave the penalty marker up for the whole race to be able to keep track of all this stuff. We're watching Jules again.
So Ninja actually has more ERS than what Moggs has at the moment. So he's saving up for a charge on Moggs, I say.
The gap is coming down a little bit, so it's 2/10 in the last lap that Moggs has conceded to Nendra. Oh, Jules tries to go around the outside and changes his mind quite late there. This has brought Miggs into the fold, so Miggs, who got past Peanuts not too long ago, is now in the back of Jules. Fastest lap currently, a 106.5, yellow sector 3. I think that might be it. Slow putting the car to bed.
Good night, sir.
Very sorry, Edsol. We love you, we miss you. Come back next week. Jules wide again. He's got to be close to another penalty there. The amount of times we've seen him go off the road. Is this the move? Now you've got another DRS straight coming up. So get a good exit here, Jules. Well, he just can't. He's wobbling all over, and it's not Wobble Candy that's losing traction, it's Jules. So Wobble Candy lives to fight another race. They both lock up at turn 4, turn 5. Window falling out of DRS range of I Love Controller. Peanuts trying to hold onto the back of this train. The gap now between P1 and P2, it's almost DRS range. So is Nendra putting the fight onto Moggs? Or is Moggs just conserving a little bit of tyre life?
He's within DRS range now. Does he get it down the straight? No, he's not quite close enough.
We've seen the first of the soft runners boxing. Tycho into the pits.
Onto the hards. He's going to try hold them for the rest of the race, I would say.
A little moment. Jules manages to get the move done on Wobble Candy, and Wobble Candy has a moment now. He's being caught by another 2 drivers. Wobble Candy loses 3 positions in a matter of a corner and a little bit. And Joe has had a moment as well in the background. Falling back. That exit of turn 3 just every time gets so many people.
Moggs is just holding it at a second here, trying to keep Ninja out of his DRS range.
Yeah, well, if that's all you have to do, then that's all you have to do, right? So Miggs now leading this train for 4th. Sorry, Jules leading the train. Miggs leading the battle to try and take 4th. That's incredible how far back Wobble Candy fell with just one little mistake. Jules took the position, and then Wobble Candy just went, uh-oh.
It just shows how tight this tier 1 group is that top 10, they're all very close to each other. And then even then, Joe, after his mistake, he's dropped 5 seconds behind. But
so gap to leader at the moment, Joe still within a pit stop, 19 seconds. So we see Miggs thinking about putting a move on Jules. He's got a good run out of turn 4 into turn 5.
Ninja's going to get DRS this lap. He's in under that second range.
Miggs all over the back of Jules. This train from Jules, Miggs, Peanuts, Wobble Candy. They're not going anywhere. Well, who's into the pit? Someone's peeled off. Wobble Candy. He's making the move. He's boxing. Is this too early for mediums? It might be. Let's keep an eye on those tyres and where he comes out. So the pit delta, it's 20-something seconds, probably around 25 as Joe comes past where we came in the pits.
Where's Tycho come out in all of this? So Wobblekani's out.
Tycho's a little behind.
Coming around the first corner now, so
Yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's Zox. Either Zox or it's J-Rocket. I'm not sure which.
one of the McLarens.
Yeah, one of the McLarens. That's it. So we'll have to keep an eye out on now. Nendra putting the moves on Moggs. Moggs is into the pits. The leader's into the pits. Let's keep an eye on what he puts on. Is this too early for mediums? Is he onto the hards?
He's
They
gone
look
medium.
Yellow. He's gone medium. And I saw somewhere Peanuts is into the pits. Zox is into the pits.
He's got to serve a 5-second. Zox is putting on another set of softs.
Interesting. So Moggs has come out ahead of Joe. So roughly 20 seconds on that pit delta. So let's bring up the gap to leader. 16 seconds now. Okay, so must be around 17 seconds then that you lose in the pits. Nendra out on his own. How long can he extend on these softs? And how powerful is the undercut? It looks like Moggs is actually losing time right now. And this could be Nendra coming into the pits. It's a bit of a different line. Yep, in he comes. So how has this benefited Moggs? Or has it benefited Nendra? As Moggs still looks like he's losing time. In the box. Around the last corner comes Moggs.
Moggs will take him here, I think.
Oh, that's huge. Look at the difference. It's massive.
That is a big.
That is a huge gap. So what it was
Now
under
Joe
a
splits
second.
them.
Under a second before, but that extra lap from Nendra has made the gap over almost 3 seconds.
Great decision there by Moggs.
He pulled the trigger at the perfect time. But 20 laps on the mediums. It's not an easy feat. It's going to be tight. Jules now leading the way. How long before he pits? In behind him, Miggs is pitting. So Jules is going to be the... Oh, Miggs is out of spin. You just saw it in the background. He's dived in the pits. Oh, he saw I Love Controller coming last second. Got out of the way.
That could have been a big moment in that pit lane entry just there.
And Jules gets another 3-second penalty. He's up to 9 seconds. Alright, well, I told you someone would get 9 seconds, but I was saying it was going to be Zox. And Zox, definitely not 9 seconds right now. He's proving me right. So where's Jules going to fall back here? He's losing time, quite a bit of time to Moggs right now. Moggs is just absolutely destroying him. The difference is astronomical. We're talking probably almost 2 seconds a lap here in the last lap time from Jules and last lap time from Moggs. So he's got to come in, surely. So that mistake has thrown Miggs out behind J Rocket. In comes Jules finally. And Moggs now with almost 3 seconds still. Nendra making a move on Joe though. Nendra not saying I'm done yet. He will have better tyres for longer. Ooh, very wide there. Nendra gets a 3-second time penalty. As he just mucks up his entrance to turn 1 there. That curb can bite you a little bit. And it has.
Something that we missed earlier from qualifying there, Grackle, is Window and I Love Controller posted the exact same qualifying time going into this race.
Oh wow. That's probably the third or fourth time I've seen Window do that.
Yeah, so it was a 103.724, so it's a very quick time. But
I Love Controller, Tycho and Zox here.
I Love
Zox.
Controller's got no ERS left, so he's not going to be able to fight for much longer. Zox has about 50% left, so
I mean, Zox can burn it because he's going to stop again. So he just needs to bang in these lap times. He's the current time holder with a 105.6, which is a full second faster than what Moggs has just done. And I think the next best is a 106.6, which is Wobble Candy.
I'd say Zox will look to make a move down this long straight.
I Love Controller picking up the penalty there. Zox the only soft runner. Someone dip it in the dirt then?
Yeah, so I don't know if that was a block or a slip from I Love Controller, but Zox almost ran up the back of him, but he got the move done in the end. And here comes Tycho. He's going to try to snag onto the back of I Love Controller.
Just out of DRS at the moment. Nendra, the gap to Moggs as he's gotten past Joe, 3.3 seconds, so that's doing Moggs just dandy up the front there.
The Ninjas seem to have picked up a 3-second penalty as well, so that's going to help Moggs if he can stay clean.
Hasn't been one of Moggs' strong suits in the past, so I'd bank on him getting at least 3 seconds by the end of the race.
Zox must have got damaged.
The pits again.
So I just missed it, but Zox and I Love Controller must have come together.
Well, he hasn't changed his wing.
Okay, maybe not.
So that was a very short stint on those tyres. I didn't see how many laps he had on them, but interesting. So I guess he just didn't feel comfortable on the softs that he was on, and he knew he couldn't get to the end yet. So 16 laps on the mediums is nice and easy. A little bit of a moment as he comes out of the pits there. I'd say Zox is not a chance for a podium, unless one of these guys up the front makes a mistake.
Maybe he just wanted to bank in the fastest lap, and he's just like, I'll salvage as many points as I can now, go to the end on these mediums.
There's Joe coming into the pits now. From P3 on the mediums, he'll probably go on to another set of mediums. So this is his second pit stop. On to another set of mediums it is. Wobble Candy. So after Jules managed to get Wobble Candy and Wobble Candy lost out, Wobble Candy has now taken back all of those spots through the pit stops and is now back into P3.
It's a good drive from Wobble Candy.
He's done well to recover that. And there's no DRS train anymore. So Peanuts 1.5 behind, Jules just behind Peanuts 1.1. He might be able to get into DRS. We've got Window who's closing the gap on Tycho. Be good to see Window have a good race. He just seems to be the guy that always just misses out by a little bit.
He's the mad dog of Tier 1.
Well, he doesn't have... No, he's always finishing, as we've got a car at the back. I think it's confirmed who's had a moment at turn 3. Window's always up there, sort of like, P10, P9. We want to see him get a couple more spots further. And there you go, Zox. Caution to the wind. He's got 3 seconds. 6 more to go, Zox. Let's go, buddy. 6 more to go. Window not managing to keep up with Tycho. So Tycho's trying to edge the gap now. Window's still in DRS range. You can see how powerful that is. Jules as well, he's pulled like 7 or 8 tenths on Peanuts. Let's have a look at Jules now. He's going down the lunge inside.
Big lock up.
That'll compromise his exit, but he's got the job done for now.
Jules is having a very good drive today so far.
Jules, the current championship leader. But as it stands, Moggs will take that back and give himself a little bit of breathing room.
At the moment, Zox is the biggest loser in the championship fight. Sitting down there in 12th.
Yeah, and he's 13 seconds behind P1, so losing those crucial point places. Confirmed almost getting in the way here as he comes out of the pits. Just between Jules and Peanuts, but he makes way for this battle. Peanuts managing to stay in range of Jules, but as they always do, struggling at T3 for grip. DRS wide open.
Ninja's slowly pulling back in Mogs, but I don't know if it'll be enough.
Miggs has got past J Rocket. Let's have a quick look. They're side by side, coming in down to T4. J Rocket with the DRS gets the position back. And Jules has another penalty. Is that 12 seconds now for Jules?
I think that is 12 seconds for Jules.
That's huge. As it stands, that would put him in P10. Notwithstanding other penalties from other people. So there's 6 spots that he could lose just on penalties alone. So they're coming thick and fast. There's your fastest laps from everybody. As Miggs is trying to get back in range of J Rocket. He gets a really good exit there. DRS
I'll be back in a second. Sorry, Gretel.
No dramas, Kiwi. Miggs gets the move done. Coming in at T3, but this will give J Rocket DRS. The 3rd DRS zone. Although he could not get the power down, so that's unfortunate. So he had a chance to try and fight back there, but he couldn't manage to stick it. As Jules is slowly getting closer towards Wobble Candy, but those 12 seconds are just dangerous. He's got a lot to do. Now he's pulling away. There's a yellow flag. Who's it that's gone round? I can't quite tell. I think it might be confirmed. Yes, I think it's confirmed. Not having a great race today, confirmed, unfortunately. And this track is one of those ones that just punishes you if you have a couple of mistakes. Because it's so short and the laps are only a minute long, one mistake is just so deadly. Window now chasing Tycho. Tycho has 6 seconds of penalties. Window keeping it clean so far. He generally does. So right now Window, if he can get past Tycho, would be a shot to take P6. Maybe even P7. There's a P5, sorry, of Peanuts. If you can get within 3 seconds of I Love Controller by the end of the race. So these penalties, as Moggs has picked up his first 3-second penalty, so that relieves a little bit of pressure off Nendra, who already had 3 seconds. So that's now for track position. Window gets past Tycho. Tycho looks like he's lost a couple of spots there. Is he pitted? Tycho's pitted. So Jules now trying to create a gap for Wobble Candy. Can Wobble Candy cling on? The difference between these two guys is 9 seconds of penalties. So Wobble Candy does not need to beat Jules on track. The guy behind him, Peanuts, another 9 seconds. So that's a 6-second difference between those two. So Wobble Candy can even pick up another penalty and still beat them both and claim a podium in T1, which would be wonderful to see for Wobble Candy. Wobble Candy, I think last season, did not have the greatest run here at Austria. I just love this helicopter shot. It's a great one. Miggs has managed to get round J Rocket. J Rocket's still within 3/10. So the field's definitely spread out now. Only one DNF. Confirmed knows that if he sticks in it, he still gets points. Just as I speak, I said the word confirmed. he's had a moment on the exit of turn 10. So my bad confirmed. My bad. Joe making a move on window. Gets the move done into the braking zone of T3. If you just planted there, it's really hard to get the move back. But window will give it a crack as he gets DRS. And Joe burns
What have I missed, Gwackle?
Well, confirmed had a spin right in front of the leaders. Just as I said the word confirmed. So that's my bad. Like, I wasn't even following him. A commentator cursed him just by saying his name. Jules has got 12 seconds of penalties, but he's managed to get into P3. But he's not able to get a gap on Wobble Candy, although Wobble Candy's just picked up a second 3-second penalty. So that, while still not making life any better for Jules.
I see Moggs has also picked up a 3-second penalty.
Indeed, as Nendra is slowly bringing that gap back. So maybe his plan is to get at it towards the very end. As Zox is clawing his way back into the midfield. Fastest lap of 104.9 still from... Oh, that's Tycho, so that's recent. Only purple in 2 sectors as well, so there's still time to grab there. So Zox... Oh no, I Love Controller's got a purple sector 1. Zox, who had the fastest lap of the race before, has now lost it. And that extra point could be quite crucial for those top fighters. You saw Moggs picking up 3 points with pole position, Zox with 2 points. And if Zox... I don't think he'll manage to beat a 104.9, but if he could get another point, he'd negate that 3-point offset from Moggs at least. But unfortunately for Zox, that spin that he had down in Sector 2 has really just made his race a bit of a disaster. So as many places as he can get back here will keep the gap as small as possible, though those 6 seconds are not going anywhere anytime soon. As he makes a move up the inside of J Rocket into T3. Some good traction there. Well done, sticking the move. He still gets DRS. That'll help him fend off J Rocket as he hunts down Migs. And then he's got to try and make a 6-second gap to keep the position. This is the closest battle these three on track, although Zox with 6 seconds of penalties. Not exactly in the mix just yet, but if we can get past these two, it could be.
Zox seems to be in the middle of the only 3 drivers that don't have any penalties yet, being Window, Migs and J-Rocket. So they either have to get some penalties or he has to try and gap them to not get past there.
And as we just check in with Nendra, who is now 1.7 seconds behind Moggs. He's coming back, slowly but surely.
With 6 laps to go, if he can keep this pace up, he's got they both got about the same amount of ERS, so we'll see how much fuel they've got, how long they can stretch.
So last laps from the two of them, Moggs with a 107 flat, and Nendra with a 106.6. So 4/10 faster last lap, Nendra. This lap, they look like they're probably about the same. 107 flat for Moggs and a 106.75 for Nendra. So a couple of tenths difference there as well. Zox still hasn't managed to get past Migs yet. Let's give Moggs some airtime as he leads the way. I do like this livery. It's quite out there. Well, J-Rocket picking up 3 seconds of penalties. That will play into the hands of Zox. If Zox can create a bigger gap.
If Ninja can get into the DRS range here, the last few laps of this race will be very, very interesting. Moggs seems to be holding that gap at around 1.7 seconds at the moment.
Zox making a move on Migs. He is. There he goes. What's our difference? He's got 3 lap newer tyres than Migs. So you shouldn't think that that would be a big difference. Tycho on the softs down there in P12. Got a couple of spots to try and overcome. Everyone else, except for Big Jim, on the mediums. And Wobble Candy picking up a penalty.
That plays into Jules' hands there.
It's 9 seconds, so Jules now just needs to extend the gap to about 3 seconds, and he will he could hold this podium out of nowhere. So let's look at this gap. He's currently 9 seconds to the leader, Jules. That would put him at... Oh, why can't I do maths on that? 21 seconds. So behind Joe and behind I Love Controller, but both of them have 3-second penalties. So, I mean, as it stands, there's potential for I Love Controller to pick up a podium here from P6.
Tycho looks to be making a move on J-Rocket. If you want to switch to that.
He gets the move done. You know, I'm just looking at the gap to leader. And I'm wondering if he can keep it clean and not lose too much time. With a couple more penalties, Window could get a podium from P8. And wouldn't that just be something crazy?
That would be phenomenal.
I want that to happen. Just so that we can say it did. Oh, that's remarkable. Well, Jules has got that 3-second gap, so he's beating Wobble Candy, he's beating Peanuts. I don't know about the gap to I Love Controller at the moment.
Oh, no. Ninja's just picked up another 3-second penalty. That gives Moggs a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, the difference, so Ninja's still putting in the same time, so I think Moggs has just banked in a couple of laps that were a bit faster and extended the lead back out to 2 and a bit. So Ninja trying to push to try and reel him in, has made that crucial mistake.
Oh, Big Jim just ran off at turn 1, almost going into the back of Moggs there. That could have absolutely ruined Moggs' race there.
Well, we don't want to see that. I tell you, this is going to be a super interesting finish. We're 2 and a bit laps away from the finale. So that, whatever just happened, has cost Moggs quite a bit of time. Nendra has picked up, I don't know, maybe it was DRS that he picked up from Big Jim, but Nendra's picked up about 6 or 7 tenths. And remember, these guys boxed at different times, so Nendra has...
Joe is hunting down I Love Controller.
Let's go, Joe. You can do it, buddy. We get on board with Joe, the 69 nice driver of the league. There's 3 seconds of penalties. Right now, Window, with the 4 seconds behind, is not going to pick up the spot from these two, but if he can pull something out the last couple laps, you never know. As these two battle towards the end, Joe with the DRS, as he chases down I Love Controller. You get 3...
This will be a good recovery from Joe after his lap 1 incident.
3 DRS zones in a row, which is huge.
I Love Controller's got no ERS left. So
Joe trying to set himself up. Good exit here. He gets in the toe. He sits behind. It's got to be a late dive. I Love Controller is defending the outside there as it looks. Moggs has had a spin. Moggs has had a spin. Nendra is into the lead.
Jules P2.
Does he have a puncture? Oh, he's losing everything. He looks like he's got he does. The leader's got a puncture. Oh no, Moggs. He's going to have to box. This
19 laps on the mediums.
19 laps. We told you 20 was a pinch. Peanuts also on 20 laps.
Wobble Candy's on 21. Any of these other guys going to get punctures on the last lap?
This is massive. What a spanner. Right towards the end there. Well,
That's the last. We're into the last lap now, and Moggs is down in P12.
Wow. Wow. What has happened there has just gifted Nendra. So, I mean, he was conserving his tires, and I guess he just tried to push it to try and maintain that gap, and right towards the end there, just had a moment as someone has, I think it's confirmed again at the exit of turn 1. Just had another moment, I think. Could be someone else, but Nendra, after the unlikely of all events, will come home in P1 with the win in Tier 1. Congratulations. Jules 11 seconds behind, but let's see how these penalties play out. Jules so far holding on to P2. Who can cover the gap? Joe picks up a spot. I Love Controller there. Zox in P7. Window jumps a bunch up into P5. Well done, Window. Tycho into P10. And Moggs. Oh, my lord.
Heartbreak for Moggs.
That is, it's disgusting.
Absolute heartbreak.
It's disgusting. You hate it. You don't want to see it.
We'll have to get a chat with Moggs after that. I know he's not in our podium positions, but we have to hear what went on there.
That was huge. What a moment. And I mean, you couldn't script it. The second last lap, he gets a puncture halfway through Sector 3. I mean, the only thing that saved... I mean, how much worse could it have gotten? But the only thing that saved it from getting worse is that it happened not too far before the pit lane entrance. But, oh my lord. Poor Moggs.
You wouldn't read about it.
As Jules picks up driver of the day with 12 seconds of penalties. But he holds on to that unlikely podium. And that's huge. That keeps Jules in P1 in the driver's standings by some margin. And you know what? After all of that, Zox, he's actually going to probably leapfrog Moggs because of that puncture that Moggs suffered.
And that gives Jules a large breathing space at the top of the championship there.
Oh wow! What a finish! Like, who saw that coming? Nendra P1, Jules P2, Wobble Candy P3. If they're not already on their way to join us in the interviews for the post-race analysis, I hope they are soon. Joe just missing out on a podium there by a 10th. If he didn't have that 3-second penalty, but you know, when there's this many penalties on the board, there's a lot of if they didn't. P5 Window, so picks up a whole bunch of spots there. And look how close he is to P4. So it was only 2 seconds from a podium there for Windows. So that's pretty close. And it shows you what can happen when you don't pick up penalties. Peanuts there in P6. I Love Controller, who looked very strong today as well. P7, but you know, points are points. It's still good points in P7. And Migsy, the other guy, without any penalties. Well done, coming home in P8. Zox, not a terrible recovery drive, but the all-important thing, as Moggs said to me before the race, I just have to beat Zox, and he didn't. So the spanner in the works there that Moggs probably didn't think about was, what about Jules? What about Jules? As we get ready for the driver interviews that will be coming up shortly. Wow, what a race, Kiwi. You got any moments there that you'd like to single out? That was something.
I think Joe there, he recovered very well. He went round with was it I Love Control at the start there. They both recovered very, very well at the start to come back and finish well in the points. Jules, who would have thought 12 seconds penalties, finished P2. So it'll be interesting to see what the boys have to say.
Indeed. Let's bring him in. First off the rank, it's going to be Jules with the unlikeliest of unlikely podiums. P2 from, I mean, he wasn't looking that strong in qualifying. He had to recover for it. Jules, if you make your way in, we'd love to hear about your drive. Zox, let me know how many penalties you got. was it? Jules, P2, well done. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Thank
12,
you.
12 seconds of penalties and you still held the podium score.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was just due because I was trying to make up for my poor qualifying. I had an issue at the I had an issue in qualifying. What was happening? My pedals were detecting I was putting brake pressure when I wasn't pressing the brake, so I was losing all this time down the straights, and I didn't realize this until the last 4 minutes. And when I was trying to correct it, when I fixed it, I had a minute to go. I was like, oh.
So you've gone from using only 60% of your brake capacity to discovering that you can use 40% more, to then using a whole bunch of brakes while you're driving without even realizing it. Like, what's the go, bro? Like, fix your brakes.
I don't know. It really annoyed me. Really seriously annoyed me because I definitely could have been up there with Zox and Moggs for pole, which is so annoying. But look, I come away with a second place. My closest championship rival was finishing below, so for me it's a good thing. But I'm really upset because look, well done to Nendra because that he deserves a win, because at the end of the day he didn't get the win in tier 2 when he probably should have, but again only due to a lapse in concentration which will cost him. But nonetheless, for me I feel like it's a win that got away. But look, in the positives, I still had fun coming through the field. I still had fun. Some good battles with Wobble. Wobble was really tough to get past. He was really great defensively, so I had some great battles with Wobble. But look, disappointed, but happy at the same time is sort of my feelings.
I don't know how you can claim a win that got away with 12 seconds of penalties, but there he is, Jules. He's done it, ladies and gentlemen. Wobble Candy coming into third place, mate. From seemingly nowhere, you had a great battle there with Jules for quite a while. But I would say that Jules, Wobble Candy would be feeling like he's a bit hard done by because of the penalties that he picked up in the last 10 laps. But how was your race, Wobble?
Well, I had a really good battle with Jules for basically the entire first stint. I really enjoyed that, to be honest. I didn't feel like I could hold him for that long, but you know, I had a better exit at turn 1 and turn 2, so it was getting to a pattern of holding him up, and then I tried to undercut these guys, which sort of worked. But then then to later on to the race, I feel like Jules has 12 seconds of penalty. I got this, so I was trying to chilling. I didn't want to fight with him too much after the second stint, so I just sort of let him by. But then I kind of lost my concentration there, knowing that it was quite, it was kind of in my bag. So I kind of, screwed up a bit. And then when I realized, it was like, oh shit, I had 9 seconds already.
And then you had to pull it back. And it was
then
just too
I
late.
had to pick up my pace. But then, Jules stayed up very long on his first stint, so he had better tires than me, and I couldn't really do a lot. And well, if it wasn't Mox that had a puncture, it was really weird. He had a puncture without really worn tires. I wouldn't have gone into the podium. So yeah, quite blessed, to be honest.
Yeah, and if you're up for it, Moggs, we'd love to hear about this puncture, because leading the race, mate, we are so gutted for you, mate. But tell us about that, because you did box a lap earlier than Nendra.
Yes.
And we were asking the question, Kiwi and I in the box, is he like kind of trying to conserve around here? And Nendra was starting to pull you back in, but I guess you tried to respond and try to lay down the law, and then it all went to rubber.
Pretty much. I did do the lap earlier than Nendra. I didn't know what my game plan was going to be for this race, and I did a lap early because I thought, I might be able to just, take these tyres till the end. And then towards the end, I was looking at my tyre wear, and Nendra was catching up, and I was just like, well, we've only got 1 lap left. I'm only in the early 70s. I'm like, surely I can push just a little bit. And then no, that was not the right thing to do. And then I had a left was it, a left rear puncture, and I was just like, okay, I'm done.
Oh no, that's just what an unlikely event. Terrible. But I mean, it blows open the lead. And you said to me before the race, all I have to do is beat Zox, which you've done.
Yes.
But did you anticipate that Jules would now have a monster lead over you going into the next round?
Yeah. Look, I said from the beginning of the season, like, it's gonna be a tough competition. Like, no matter what, anything can happen during a race, and I think today that really goes to show that anything can happen. Well done to Nendra, well done to Jules and Wobble Candy, and also a shout out to Zox as well for the qualifying little rivalry that we had at the start. Yeah, that time that I put in, my heart was racing when we started the race. And I was glad that safety car came out because my heart was still pumping from the qualifying. Yeah.
Gave you some time to settle. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, well done, everybody. Well done, Nedra. Well done, Jules. Well done, Wobble Candy. Great to see you up on the podium. You've had some bad luck in some of the earlier races, so it's good to see you get some good luck this time.
Oh, me?
No, Wobble, you haven't had any bad luck. Jules, mate, you just got P2 with 12 seconds of penalties. I call
Nah,
that
sorry,
great
I was talking to Nendra actually, because Nendra's too shy to come on board for an interview, unfortunately.
Oh, no dramas, Nendra, but well done. Congratulations. As we look forward, the next race on the calendar on May 30, which is also my mother's birthday, just quietly, Brazil. So the two podium sitters that we've got here, Wobble Candy, Jules. Is it a strong track for either of you, or is it a weak track for either of you?
I would like to say strong, but until I can get my braking right, we won't know.
And what about you, Wobble?
It's never been a strong track for me, because it's quite hard to get the corners right, and I feel like I still don't have a right setup for the track, so I'll be practicing. Yeah,
Well, I think the last time I remember hearing you say that the track wasn't strong for you, you got a podium. So let's hope that comes good again this time. Next week, same time, same place. It's Brazil. It's the OCE Racing League, and we'll be right back here. Ready for it. See you soon.